There's Steph Curry, and then there's everybody else. No one in the history of basketball has ever made the impossible feel this normal. He doesn't just play basketball, he orchestrates it like a conductor with sneakers, turning hardwood into a symphony of swishes and stunned defenders. Every time he steps on the court, something shifts. The tension rises. The arena buzzes. Because everyone knows one flick of the wrist can detonate the entire game. He drops 30-footers like free throws, glides through traffic like he's late for dinner, and plays with the joy of a kid who just got a new ball. He's a showman, a tactician, a silent killer with a smile. I can't stop watching him. I'm obsessed. And if you're not yet, you're about to be. Steph Curry's off-ball movement is pure chaos for the defense. But if you know your NBA history, it's also poetry, because this isn't the first time we've seen a guard weaponize cardio and motion like this. Back in the early 2000s, Rip Hamilton was doing it for the Detroit Pistons. Rip would run defenders through a maze of screens, wearing them down, forcing miscommunications, and in doing so unlocked the best versions of Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. His movement created rhythm for everyone. Steph took that same idea and turned it into a superpower. He doesn't just tire defenders out, he collapses entire coverages. His motion opens up layups, cuts, lobs, skip passes, everything. Like Rip, his movement isn't for himself, it's for the team. But Steph's gravity, it's on a different planet. He's the off-ball blueprint of a generation, and every championship system now borrows from what he and Rip showed us, that movement is domination. Here's what casual fans don't get. Steph Curry is more dangerous without the ball. He never stops moving. He sprints, curls, cuts, vanishes, and reappears wide open. It's like watching Houdini in sneakers. One moment he's in the corner, the next he's at the top of the key splashing a three. He conditions the defense. By the fourth quarter, defenders are gassed, just trying to stay in his orbit. That's not luck, that's weaponized cardio. And it breaks defenses before he even touches the ball. And when defenders lose him for even a split second, that's when the damage happens. His catch and shoot release is so quick, 0.4 seconds from catch to release, that by the time you realize you've lost him, the ball is already in the net. The shot that changed everything. Before Steph, a 30 Galgara was a last resort. Now, it's the game plan. He stretches the floor to insane lengths. Opposing guards have to pick him up at half court. Bigs have to hedge 35 feet from the rim. That changes the geometry of the game. He created spacing where there was none, freedom where there was congestion. Every Warriors possession became a puzzle the defense couldn't solve, because the man at the center of it wasn't just sniping. He was controlling the game like a maestro. The numbers tell the story. In the 2009-10 season, right before Steph became a star, NBA teams averaged 18.13 point attempts per game. Last season, 34.2 attempts. Nearly double. That's not correlation, that's causation. That's the Steph effect. And let's be honest, he's so good that even LeBron James, a man who's played with the greatest of the greats, is still openly vying to play alongside him. Think about that. LeBron has played with D-Wade, Kyrie, AD, but it's Steph who still haunts his mind, because when you play with Steph, the game opens up in ways it never has before. Even the king knows sharing the floor with the greatest shooter ever means unlocking an entirely new level of basketball. And if you want a taste of what true dominance looks like, just rewind to the 2024 All-Star game when Steph and LeBron finally shared the floor on the same team. It wasn't just highlight reel material, it was basketball poetry. LeBron's precision and vision paired with Steph's chaos and gravity, unstoppable. The handles and hesitations. And no, he's not just a shooter. Steph has one of the most deceptive handles in the league. Let's put it side by side. Kyrie Irving is the oddest, flashy, smooth, unpredictable. His dribble package is a mixtape of creativity and chaos. Steph, he's the surgeon, efficient, rhythmic, always with a purpose. His handles aren't about the show, they're about the kill. Kyrie might make you say, wow. Steph makes you say, wait. How did he even get that shot off? He doesn't rely on raw speed. He lulls you to sleep. His hesitations, crossovers, snatchbacks, they're surgical. He manipulates defenders into thinking they have him locked, and then it's gone. The ball is up, the net is singing, and you're on a highlight reel. He plays with pace, rhythm, and trickery, a magician with a handle. The joy factor. You ever notice how much fun Steph has? The joy is infectious. He'll hit a three, turn around before it drops, throw his mouthguard in celebration, or break into a spontaneous shimmy. Basketball has never looked so fun, and that matters. Fans feel it, teammates feed off it, even his haters respect it. Steph makes basketball feel like recess, and that joy has transformed basketball culture. Before Steph, the NBA's coolest players were often the most stoic, the Kobes, the Duncans, the ice-cold killers who never smiled. Steph flipped that script. He showed that you could dominate while having the time of your life, that passion and joy weren't weaknesses, they were superpowers. Now look around the league. Trae Young hitting logo threes and shimmying, Luka smiling after impossible stepbacks, Anthony Edwards playing with childlike enthusiasm. That's Steph's cultural impact. He made it cool to love what you do and show it. The system and the star. Now let's talk basketball like Curry is the engine of the Warriors' motion offense. He's both the star and the system. The gravity he creates opens up the entire floor. Klay gets better looks. Draymond gets more playmaking space. Even when he's not scoring, he's breaking the defense. Steve Kerr built a symphony, and Steph is the lead violin. The Warriors' offense under Steve Kerr is basketball poetry in motion. Split cuts, flare screens, dribble handoffs, constant movement, constant threat, but none of it works without Steph. The numbers tell the story. Since 2014, the Warriors' offensive rating with Curry on the court is typically 10-15 points higher than when he sits. That's the difference between the best offense in the league and a bottom 5 unit. And it's not just about the shots he makes, it's about the shots he creates for others. According to tracking data, Warriors players shoot nearly 5% better on open threes when Curry is on the floor versus when he sits. Why? Because defenses are so terrified of Steph that they compromise their entire scheme to stop him. The heart of a dynasty. Narration: Steph wasn't just a star, he was the heartbeat of a dynasty. KD came and left, K got hurt, Draymond aged, but Steph stayed. He sacrificed touches, stats, spotlight. He empowered others. He led without needing to dominate every conversation. His leadership was spiritual. Golden State isn't Golden State without Steph Curry. The true mark of Steph's leadership isn't in the highlight reels, it's in the culture he built. Warriors players talk about him with reverence, not just for his talent, but for his humility. When Kevin Durant arrived, a player who could potentially outshine him, Steph didn't resist. He embraced it. He sacrificed shots, attention, and even MVP consideration. During the KD years, Curry's usage rate dropped from 32% to around 28%. His shot attempts decreased, but the team's success skyrocketed. 2 more championships, historical dominance. That's not just unselfishness, that's leadership. Not just a shooter. Narration: the biggest myth in basketball that Steph is just a shooter. He's an elite finisher around the rim. His touch, his angles, his body control, all elite. On defense, he competes, plays the lanes, takes charges, holds his own, and his IQ, off the charts. Reads traps, manipulates switches, always 2 steps ahead. He's not a one-trick pony, he's a Swiss Army knife with the shooting of a demigod. Let's address the defense. Is Curry a lockdown defender? No, but he's far from a liability. Since 2014, he's averaged 1.5 steals per game, elite for a point guard. His hands are quick, his anticipation exceptional. In the biggest moments, the NBA Finals, the Olympics, coaches don't hide him, they trust him. Because when it matters most, Steph rises to the occasion on both ends. This isn't just a shooter, this is a complete basketball player whose shooting happens to be transcendent, changed the game forever. Let's be clear, Steph changed basketball. Before him, no one built teams around the three-point line. Now, it's the blueprint. Kids pull up from half court because of him. NBA offenses revolve around spacing because of him. He didn't just play the game, he bent it to his will. This isn't a moment. This is a legacy.